Welcome to the All-Star Networking Podcast. It's the show where you hear from a new expert each week on how to build an all-star network, increase business sales, grow careers, find a job, or enrich your life. Let's get it started. From the Midtown Global Market in Minneapolis, here's your host, Kathy Paper.
Hi, this is Kathy Paper. Welcome to the All-Star Networking Show, hosted at Midtown Global Market. And Matt is chuckling today. I must be in quite the mood. So Matt Tell, the head of the Friends of the Global Market. And joining me as our guest is the lovely, fabulous, and super talented EOS Implementer, Tamara Prato. Tamara, give a hello and let everyone know what you're up to these days.
Hey, Paper. Good to be here. Thanks for having me. Love being at the global market. So let's see, what am I up to these days? I'm helping business owners get more of what they want from their business, helping them strategize, helping them get clear on their vision, and helping create better teams.
Excellent. And I know you do a lot of work too with companies that are really committed, socially responsible, and good community players.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate you being here as we are supporting so many 30 entrepreneurs are housed in the Midtown Global Market, formerly Sears Roebuck and Company. I noticed as I walked in today, there's a lovely little entranceway.
Yeah, longtime visitor. My family and I have been coming down here for years.
Oh, excellent. All right, well, we'll discuss what we're going to have to eat later or where we're going to go shop. But I wanted to talk about networking because you and I crossed paths years ago. And in fact, I'm going to say that we owe it to Darren Lynch.
We do.
Or is it Dina Simon? All roads lead to Darren or Dina? Who connected us?
I think it was originally Darren.
Okay.
So I hate to give him any credit for anything, but I'll give him a
Darren,
shout out.
You just had your first shot on the podcast, busting on Darren Lynch with Irish Titan.
Love you, Darren.
Yeah, but thank you for connecting us because you were the publisher at Minnesota Business.
I was, yes.
And all the other magazines.
Yes, all those lovely community magazines, most of which are still out there. Edina and Lake Minnetonka, loved White Bear Lake magazine.
Nice.
Good times. Yeah.
And why I want to talk about that is because I think you are the ultimate networker and connector.
Oh.
So, sleeper.
Oh, shucks.
Exactly. Usually I make people blush a little bit, but it's a podcast, so nobody would know but me and Matt. But no, seriously, what you did for the business community of elevating people's profiles, particularly someone like me or Darren or other people that were had a network, but maybe not everybody knew what we did with our networks. I'd just love to tell a little bit of the story of how that networking phenomenon event came about, the Real Power 50.
The Real Power 50, yes. So the idea was to think about who are the linchpins, those people that are making things happen that don't always get the recognition, right? And so they're the people that when we created this back, gosh, can't even remember
like
now.
2009.
9 maybe? 10? Probably 10. But the reason behind it, and everything about Minnesota Business Magazine at that time, which sadly is no longer in publication, but everything was about small and mid-sized businesses and telling kind of the unsung stories of the other organizations in town. We need the Targets, we need the Best Buys, General Mills, we need all of those. But it was really trying to elevate and tell the stories of all the other businesses like the ones around us here today at the Midtown Global Market about their impact and what they do for our community. And so the idea behind the Power 50 was to recognize either up-and-comers or those people that if you needed something, you could call them, and if they didn't have the answer, they'd know who to send you to. The other caveat is they would call you back. Right? And so just knowing who those people were, I thought it was important to give a call out and a shout out and then create this community around that.
And it was amazing. And it really was, for anyone that doesn't know about it or hasn't lived in the Twin Cities, or maybe you live in a different area, what it did was, I think, was the bridge between the startup community and the corporate community. and let people know who some of the players were that maybe you didn't get recognition. You know, you don't build a network to get recognition.
No.
Right?
Right. The idea, again, being how do we connect these things, right? How do we connect different industries, different levels of experience, but in a way that, again, is meaningful because people are looking to connect and looking for help. And the idea behind this was nothing more than, right, we want to help people achieve their different objectives.
Well, and what I liked about it a lot, and Matt, you and you've helped me glean or talk about networking with a purpose. Because if you're going to build your network, sometimes people just build a network. They're like, oh, I need to meet people, I need to sell, I need to get a job, whatever they're networking, they just start networking. And I found with the Real Power 50, you created a way to show all the different community touch points.
Sure. Yeah, I think what was so important about it was recognizing people from all backgrounds, all levels, and all industries. I think there's a lot of awards in the financial sector. There's a lot of awards in recognition in other areas. And so the concept of just a really wide swath of industries, experience, backgrounds, and making sure that everyone felt somewhat represented within what we were doing.
Well, and you did a fabulous job of that. And granted, people in my network, they called me and they said, I need to get on that Real Power 50 list. So it was almost like when people read the business journals or they know about awards, there was a lot of people going, hey, that's me. I identify as a person who has a good network. I am a connector, that they wanted that. So again, hats off to you for that one.
Thank you.
And but let's just talk how did you decide networking was either important to you, or have you always been a connector, like since you were a kid, or?
Well, I was like the ringleader, right, in high school. I did the planning, and we couldn't text 12 people, right? So I am calling everyone and aligning and making all of the plans and getting everyone together. So yes, I would say that started early on. Mrs. Faring, my first grade teacher, always said I had the gift of talking.
Yes.
The gab that I got done early, but then I was bothering everyone else. So my mom still reminds me of that today.
That's a good quality. We like that quality.
We do. But no, I think that when I look at the opportunities that I've had and the roles that I've had over my career, it's really been about coming up with ways to connect things that maybe you don't think go together. And how do we leverage different opportunities, different groups of people, different networks to make magic happen.
I have to write that one down, is connect things that may not go together, and to make that magic happen, because I know it's just an interesting idea. When you network, how do you know who to network with?
For me, whether it's like I'm out to network or I'm just out, I want to meet people and understand what they're up to. I want to know, what are their projects, where are they stuck, how can I help, and then, just learning about, just even at the lunch we were at together recently, hearing, oh, I've created this app, and then immediately thinking, oh, I know who you need to meet. I got a guy.
Yes.
I got a gal. I know who you need to talk to, and maybe they can't, fund your whole project, but they have some insights, or there's something about them that there's reasons that I think they need to know each other.
Nice. And that lunch that was Mick White, right?
Yes.
The best lunch ever.
Correct.
And what I liked is you invited me to the lunch. So do you always bring people to events with you, or what's your...
Oftentimes I will, to try to, again, that whole idea of kind of cross-pollinating of different groups and different networks. I think it's important. I think you and I have both been trying to be much more deliberate about opening up our networks to other people.
Yes.
And trying to expand on meeting people and helping folks that maybe don't look like you and me.
Right.
Right? So I think that has been a really big piece. And I think it's critical for our community that we do that.
Well, and I love the cross-pollinating because, of course, Midtown Global Market is, 30 entrepreneurs. I'd love to see the map of all the different countries that are represented. And when you mentioned the app, Moo, who we met, he played basketball with the guys who own Slice, which Slice is opening shortly. And will be one of the places where you can go get some pizza and connect up. A lot of connections. There's
100%.
fun to meet people, but that cross-pollination. What about volunteering or, getting involved in the community in a different way? How did you tackle that one? Not really a question, just kind of I know you're dialed in.
Yeah, currently I am involved with the St. Paul Chamber of Commerce Foundation Board. And so that was part of We Love St. Paul. They had after the unrest. So was part of that. It also helps to put on the Leadership St. Paul program that I went through when I was leading the James J. Hill Reference Library in St. Paul. So I'm tapped in there, and then currently also serving on a committee for NABO, National Association of Women Business Owners. So always looking for opportunities, again, to meet other people, hear their stories, and find ways to help elevate the work they're doing.
Excellent, because the one coaching I got from somebody probably 15 years ago is he said paper, which everybody calls me by my last name after a while. He said, don't just join something, get on a committee. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, you can't just join and be a member. You got to get into it and be on a committee and build the relationships where you get to know people.
Right.
And
be present. You have to be present and really, truly be a part of their programming and supportive and, again, trying to help move the initiatives forward above and beyond just getting to know people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, excellent. And okay, you're also super active online, kind of that networking on and off the screen. Maybe super active is an overstatement. You're giving me the eyebrow. So not really sure.
LinkedIn, yes. Definitely more on LinkedIn. Sharing content. I think for me right now, the clients that I have, trying to share their content and amplify them and what they're up to. I also am helping the group that does the Amplify programming, speaking of the word amplify, that once a month does a feature of a founder. And so helping them try to get clear and set priorities, because they are all amazing human beings behind this program, but they all have different ideas and they're all very visionary, and so trying to help them prioritize and get some processes in place. That's another opportunity for me to give back and volunteer my time and energy.
Great. And so how do you find time for that? Because you're busy, and a lot of people that are networking or connecting or thinking about social media, how do you build it in? Are you
I think it's just, I know what that commitment looks like. I know what my client commitments look like, and so I just try to prioritize certain times where I'm committed to those things, and then build in all the other fun stuff I get to do with crazy people like Paper and Dina and all the shenanigans.
Yes. No, but come on. I think it's because I see you online. I found try to wonder, how do people find time for all of this? I liken social media now to going to get the mail.
Yeah.
Where I used to love to go get the mail. And if anybody's listening and they haven't written a letter lately, I read about a startup in town where they're sending you mail so that you can write a handwritten letter. Do you know the name of the person?
I just was reading about it, this Q and Quill something. I apologize if I'm mixing that up. There's another organization that does something similar where, part of their gig is that they send handwritten notes out on your behalf.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, so those of you that don't know the mail, yes, I'm a fan
huge
too.
fan.
I'm a fan too of the handwritten note. And I also think, though, that getting in the habit of doing social media, it's about on and off the screen connections.
It is.
Excellent. So
I use mostly LinkedIn. That's just my preferred platform. I'm not on Instagram. I'm definitely not on TikTok.
I'm on TikTok.
I know you are.
It might be questionable. questionable branding, but
you're real good with your videos, the juggling, the videos, all of the things. Yeah, I'm much better not doing those.
But you use Nimble.
Oh, well, yeah, that's my CRM. Yeah, so I use CRM to keep track of, who I am supposed to call or who I should call and want to keep connected to and, notes. But mostly for me, from a pure networking standpoint, I would say LinkedIn and then events.
Okay, so today that's all the time we have, but I would love to have you come back and share more. Is there anything that you want to ask before we release Tamara to go investigate? I'm not sure where we're going to go to today.
I don't know. I love the Moroccan place.
Yes.
Always really good. Yeah. Tortas are good.
Yeah, we got a lot of options.
I know.
Yeah.
I haven't.
And the East Lake Brewery is open too. It might be beer time. So beer time margarita, we're not sure. Okay.
Right.
And where do we get in touch with you if somebody listening is running a business and knows that they want to grow their business or get it organized and learn more about EOS?
Yes.
How do they find out and do the 90-minute meeting with you?
You bet. So the easiest way is connect at tamaraprato.com and be happy to schedule a 90-minute meeting. It's a great overview of how EOS works, if you choose to work with an implementer, and if it's a good fit for you and your team.
Excellent. Well, thank you for being here. And
thank you.
Matt, thanks as always, for having us. And over and out.
Thank you for listening to the All-Star Networking Podcast with Kathy Paper. To learn more about strategic networking and making impactful connections, visit rockpaperstar.com. Please join us in supporting the Midtown Global Market as a vital community resource that supports small business, cultural diversity, and free or low-cost programming. Reach us at friendsofglobalmarket.org.